I'm Terry, and I love New York, and I love to get around by subways. But you just never know where I might turn up or what I'm going to be doing next. So, come join me on my adventures as I make my way around New York and find some great underground, above ground, and even secret things to enjoy about this amazing city. So come join me on my adventures for anyone. Today I'm offering some good old-fashioned advice. If you've never been to the city, this alone can be overwhelming. Grand Central Station is enormous. It has passages and walkways. It's confusing. And so can New York be. With a subway line that has 28 lines and 472 stations, Metro North has 8 lines and 124 stations. Then you throw in Long Island Railroad with 11 lines, 126 stations, 4 lines on the Path with 13 stations, 12 lines on New Jersey Transit with 165 stations. And the signs, they just start. And then you get over to the 42nd Street Times Square Terminal. It's a mega station. It took me a million times through here to really figure out where I was going. So what does this all mean? And everywhere from Fulton Street to Grand Central to Times Square, it means follow the signs. You get down to the Oculus, you get off the subway on the 1, you start having path stations here in the Oculus. The opposite end has the pathway you walk over to that Fulton Street complex. Underneath the World Trade Center, you've got pathways up, down, and around to get to the different sides of the one subway. There's a lot going on. And the one thing that people try to keep about them is their sense of direction. And I've said for years, that's the thing you need to give up. When it comes to New York, you have places like Bryant Park, where there's several entrances, but the main one is closed after 9 p.m. Follow the signs, pay attention, they're telling you something. When you come down off of the super raised subway station over at Long Island City, you have repair routes, you have different signs for different things. When you walk out the door, you're not even on the street or under the street, you're still above the street. And then you have things like over at Queens Plaza, where you have the E, the R, and the M. Completely different lines, and now that M is an F most of the time. It can be very confusing. Port Authority, this place is huge. So many floors, so many gates, so many things going on. If you try to use your sense of direction or think that you know what you're doing, if you've never been in any of these places, I promise you, you don't. And I hate to be that way, but I've done it myself. I've literally got lost on my way through Grand Central out to the airport. You've seen the video about that. Honestly, it's not that hard, but when I had no experience, I thought I knew what I was doing, and I was wrong. So there are literally signs everywhere in New York. Penn Station also has the subway, has exits. It also has entrances upward into Madison Square Garden. It has schedules. It has tracks where your train is. It has times. It has signs for where security is. There's a lot, and you have to follow the signs. So I'll tell you what, if you don't read, if you don't like to read, if you can't read, learn to read. It is very hard to get around on mass transit in New York City if you don't. Look at all those schedule boards there. Look at this thing, and then another track just pops right up as you're looking at it. These trains, they come in and out, and the last thing you want is to get lost, be in the wrong place. Here you go, up to Madison Square Garden, down to Penn Station. Know where you are. If you're outside the building and you don't know where you are, there's street signs, there's district signs. Everything in New York tells you where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. All you have to do is follow the signs. I'm telling you, sometimes I go down to New York, I go to a neighborhood I've never been in, I have no clue what I'm doing, what direction I'm going, and you know what? I don't really care because there's signs. Here at Moynihan Hall, you're going to have to go and pick up your bags if you checked them on Amtrak. There's probably a dozen signs telling you how to get to that baggage claim. Go and find your bags. Even at the end of a line, like down at South Ferry, where your subway comes in and you're transferring over to maybe the Staten Island Ferry, you're going to find another subway you can transfer to, another line. You can go from red to yellow. There are signs everywhere. Out on Governor's Island, look, it'll tell you you're at Hammock Grove. There's a map for how to get around. It's a park, it's an island. There's signs everywhere. The air train out to JFK, your boarding doors, your station numbers, your air train itself and which door it stops at is going to tell you everything. Read the signs. Jamaica Station, you've got that air train. You've got Long Island Railroad. You've got the elevators down to the tracks. You've got the subway over at Barclays in Brooklyn. You have got all kinds of connections to many, many subways, plus the Barclays Center, plus the street. Follow those signs. Because no matter where you go in New York, you're going to be underground, above ground, adjacent to ground, in a building. Even at Coney Island, it's the end of a couple of lines down there. It's one of the oldest stations in the city. It's enormous, and you could literally get lost coming and going from this station because it's so big. So follow the signs. So just remember when you're in New York, you don't know where you're going, especially if you haven't been here much. Look at this subway map alone, and that doesn't include all the trains. Even if you're just picking up a shuttle like over by Prospect Park in Brooklyn, it can be tedious. Are you in a hole? Are you above ground? Do you have a clue where you are, where you're going? Sometimes you just really don't. So for the very last time, follow those signs.